Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? You are tuned in to Chappys' Phlokking Podcast. I'm your host, Chappy.
And your boy, Junior.
What is going on, everybody? We decided to go ahead and go live tonight. We had a few people asking if we would. So that is what we did. We decided to go live. We do have a special guest.
Yeah, I just heard about this before we started. I have no idea who it is either.
Yeah,
you didn't tell me.
Yeah, I know. It was a surprise, so I'm going to keep it that way. We're going to
see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes with this. So they should be calling any minute. But as you know, here at the Chappys' Phlokking Podcast, we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of all social medias. We don't care. We don't hold back. We don't care. So today we're gonna start out today. As you can tell, there's a little bit of music playing in the background there. That's some stuff that was given to us. We found it on the old Uber tubes, and we're gonna play it in the background today and just see how it goes. Kind of, when we take our breaks and whatever, we're just gonna play it. But we got some pro tips. We have 10 of them. We've already played 2. So we have 2 more that we're going to play. So I'm going to turn down this music just a tad bit so they can hear it, and then I'll turn it back up. These actually come from one of our listeners.
Yep.
And
great lady.
She's awesome. So she's done 10 of these. And they're not long. I mean, they're average between like 10 seconds and
at most 20.
And most 20 that I've seen so far. So let me lower this down right here, and we're gonna play this one right here.
Pro tip: some of the most poisonous people come disguised as friends and family. Avoiding them is not weakness; it's wisdom. Pro tip: I know a lot of people pray for material things like jobs, cars, money, houses, etc. But don't forget to pray for healing, balance, and inner peace as well. After all, happiness starts from within.
Amen, amen. She hit it right on the button there with that last one. You gotta start with the inside, and that's what we're here for. We're gonna try to change it up a little bit. We're just gonna shoot from the hip. I guess that's not really changing it up.
Not really. We do that every day.
Yeah, that's not really changing it up. But we do have a new mic, and we've been testing it out with different levels and stuff, and it seems to be working really well.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, it picks up really well. So hopefully we keep that going, and so there's the phone. There is the phone right there. Should we answer it, guys? I don't know. Let's answer it. Let's answer it.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Who is this? Oh, it's Junior.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, sir. I'm going to interview you tonight.
Oh, goody.
I've been getting a lot of messages because Junior doesn't talk a whole lot. Who is this Junior character?
So, I go by Junior, but my name's Wesley. You can call me Wes, whatever you like. But I'm Chappy's son. I'm the youngin'.
Yeah, he's a youngin', all right.
Just by a little bit.
Yeah, by a little bit, meaning as in a lot. But, no, actually, he's my youngest boy, and he's 21. Mm-hmm. But I kind of surprised him a little bit because people have been asking me who he is, because he doesn't talk that much. But you guys got to understand that I'm long-winded.
I just let him go.
And he just, I guess maybe because I'm his dad, he just kind of lets me go.
For the most part, and for the most part, you bring up everything that I was going to say either way.
Right. So that's why I decided tonight to kind of get him a little bit. And I was thinking about this at work, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna get his little ass. I can't say little. He's like 245 pounds at like 6'4" or something.
I'm not really little.
He's not really a little guy. I mean, he's a grown man. But I decided at work that since I've had a few people ask me, who is Junior? So here's what we're gonna do, Junior. I'm gonna treat you like I do every other guest on our show.
All right.
Let's first start. You already said your name.
Yep.
So where are you from originally?
So I am originally from Northern Ohio, and I was born and raised around that area, Northeastern. I just recently moved down here to North Carolina with the Pops.
Yep.
And
help me.
Yeah.
Help.
I've come down here to get a change of scenery, change of pace for myself. And while I was down here, he mentioned this podcast, and I've been helping him since.
Yeah, I decided to do this podcast before I went on vacation. And I went up and seen family and stuff, because I'm originally from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And I had talked to his mother, and his mother decided that it's time for a change of scenery. So I talked over with the boy, and he was all for it. So he is now here with me, and it's been an absolute, blast. And we've been having fun with this podcast.
Yes, we have.
We're trying to figure out new ways to bring you guys content. So that's why I kind of switched it up today on it. And
I definitely wasn't thinking that this was gonna happen today. But
yeah, like I told him, I walked in the door. We set up. I got everything set up as far as the podcast go, and I said, "Oh, by the way, we have a special guest today." And he went, "Huh?
Who is it?
Who is it?" And I was like, "I'm not telling you." So he was like, "Come on, tell me who it is." You know how kids are. Tell me who it is. Who is it? And I'm like, "No, not telling you. You'll find out when we go live."
See, I thought it was gonna be the lady who did the sound bits. That's who I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I haven't really talked to her. I suggested it because she's very opinionated, but I decided that not to ask her as far as, But anyway, sorry, a motorcycle driving by.
It sounded good.
It sounded actually really good. I have a motorcycle, so I had a squirrel moment. But anyway, now back on track. So Wesley, as I was saying, this is where you're from, your name, da-da-da-da. I'm gonna call you Junior because that's just it. You're Junior. You're Trouble Junior. That's kind of where it was. Kind of one of those things. We joined a Telegram group, and I introduced him as Trouble Junior, and it stuck.
Yeah,
Junior stuck. But anyway, okay. So have you been on social media at all in the last 2 days?
I don't really look at a whole lot of social media because I believe it's a lot of bullshit. I really do. I don't like it. Everybody just stares at it. Everybody stares at it nowadays.
Huh.
I can't say much because I do a lot of writing and looking at my phone, so I can't really say much. But social media takes a lot of time.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, I'm gonna paraphrase, but you're just saying that you don't like it because it's taking over people's lives?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with that being said, have you seen? Now you're 21, so you grew up
with a lot of
with the technology.
Yes.
So, have you seen, like, as far as people's personalities, as far as, like, I guess this wouldn't be a personality. It kind of is. People's personality trait as far as being social outside.
Died. It has died. Dropped off the planet.
Okay.
It really has. See, 21 some odd years ago when you were still younger.
Yeah. Don't push it, boy.
Back then, it wasn't a big thing. So everybody was still going out, talking to people, finding more friends, going to parties, talking to people. Nowadays, there is none.
Yeah.
Nothing happens in the communities that people get together and socialize.
Right.
It's all over the phone, all over the computer. That's it.
Yeah. Now, yeah, like you were saying, I'm 43. I'll be 44 in January. Now, in my lifetime, you're right. It was going out with your friends to parties. I've been to multiple parties. And even in high school, going out and hanging with the guys, working on cars and motorcycles and stuff. Getting tattoos when your mom didn't know. I mean...
Which, I don't have any, but I do plan on getting some at some point.
Yeah, well, your father's for it. I don't care if
I
you
know.
get them. So, our social, like, if you look at our generation, we have absolutely no problem going up to somebody in any situation and talking to them.
Exactly.
We could be at work. We can be outside at a grocery store. We can be anywhere. And my generation and older, we don't have a problem with that. We know how to speak to people.
Exactly.
We know how to look people in the eyes. We know how to talk to people. Communication. I feel that it's dying a little bit because of social media, because you literally have a screen in front of you, and that's what you're looking at. The only time you're actually looking at somebody is if, like, you're FaceTiming them, or...
Which, even then...
Yeah, I mean, you don't walk up and shake their hand or anything like that. You're just looking at a screen, and I do feel that the communication skills and things like that have died off because of social media. And don't get me wrong, I grew up in technology. Mm-hmm. My father, your grandfather, he used to work in a computer store. Like, him and his buddy, old CB buddy, there's a word for you, CB buddy, they got into computers and they would rebuild them and program them and stuff like that. I've always been around a computer and the technology, but as far as our generation, we would come home from school, do what we had to do on the technology we had, and then we go outside and play.
Yeah.
Nowadays, kids are on the technology, come home and stay on the technology. There is no going out. Yeah, you want to go outside, you want to go play with your friends, you get on your Xbox.
Right.
Or you get on a social media site and you communicate through the social media site, be it, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion on that. So, with that being said, that to me is a negative.
Yes.
What has been what has in your mind been a positive that you've seen from social media, like, as a whole? I'm not going to pinpoint one or the other, but as a whole.
So, say something goes on with your family, there is a quick and easy way to get a hold of everybody, if it needs be. Say your grandmother's dying.
Right.
And you need to get a hold of the family. Right there and then, make a group chat. Hey, everybody, we need you to come to da-da-da. And it more than likely is going to happen. However that goes.
Right.
There is a whole bunch of information spreading. There's a whole bunch of... You can learn a language in no time. You can go out, say you want to learn Spanish or French. There's plenty of apps, there's different websites that you can go on to and learn those things pretty easily. And then take that into the real world with you.
Right. My thing is like, when you pick up your phone, I just picked up my phone, scrolling through, and like everything is at the push of a button.
Exactly.
Literally, I can open my phone and hit Google,
and you can search
and
anything.
I can search anything I want, and it's right there. Now, as far as like you were saying with the social media, you literally, like, as you know now, our family lives 9-10 hours away from us. If I want to see my nieces and nephews, and you want to see your cousins, we jump on Facebook or Snapchat or, wherever our family made whatever app they're using.
And we can get a hold of them.
So that, I agree with you on your plus perspective.
Yes.
Because, God forbid, something happens to Grandma, and we're 10
hours
away, and myself being at work, they know I won't answer my phone at work. So, they'll just throw me, it's weird. I don't look at my phone for text messages, but when I hear a notification come through, I look at the notification. Even if it's a notification of a text, I'll look at that, because the notification is the same noise.
Yes.
So I just look at it, but if a text comes through, I won't look at it. A lot of my notifications I ignore anyway, but I know, if your aunt, if she texts, or if she jumps on Snapchat or Facebook, and she messages me, normally, something's going on in her life,
right,
or, my nieces and nephews' lives, or, something's going on, because her and I can go months without talking, and then just pick up the phone and, where we left off talking. That's my baby sister. She's my favorite, and she knows that. And she'll tell everybody that, too. Because, there's obviously 20 years between my youngest brother. Your uncle is a year older than you.
Yeah.
There's literally 20 years between me and him. And out of all of them, her and I just connected the best. But, so, going on, is there anything okay, I'm going to flip this. If you had to ask me anything about social media, what would be a question you would ask me? Because we're in different generations.
Right. So, nobody uses emails anymore.
God forbid, I know, right?
Nobody sends or receives them, really, other than, verification codes or setting up something for social media.
Right.
What do you feel has actually changed in that regard?
What do you mean? Why did the usage of it go away?
Yes.
I think that has a lot to do with, because you can literally pick up your phone and send a message.
Very true.
If you have that person in your contacts on your phone, more likely you have them on Facebook or Snapchat or one of those other. You easily, whatever you got to say. Now, unless it's illegal, if it's legal documents or things of that nature, yeah, I'm sure you'll email it.
Yeah.
But if it's just to say hi, because that's how we used to. Literally, we had Yahoo Messenger. And before that, we had, oh God, what did we have before that? MSN. We had something else before Yahoo. I don't even think Yahoo Messenger is even around anymore.
I don't think it really is.
I don't know, but they had they had chat rooms and all kinds of stuff you could do. It was, I think, the beginning point of everything. Was Yahoo Messenger. But I think because, to answer your question, because you can send a message like that,
there's no need.
There's no need to type it out and send an email when you could literally just, and a lot of your apps you can do text, or talk to text, and you just hit a button, say what you got to say, and it'll type it up, and you hit send. So you don't even. Literally, our country has gotten so lazy that you don't even have to type out a text message anymore. That's how lazy this country is. And I'm going to say it right now. Today's generation, I'm not going to put a percent on this, but if you look at the working class of your generation and the working class of my generation,
completely different.
Us 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds bust our ass because we are afraid that a 20-year-old is going to walk in there and take our job.
But the 20-year-olds don't even want that job.
They don't even want it. They want to sit home on their computer and work from home. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong.
No, not at
with
all.
working from home. Hell, your Uncle Bob.
He
works from home.
Yeah.
And he's a genius. But he worked his ass off at other jobs, went and worked his way through college to get to that. He's from my generation. Mm-hmm. He knows how to make the money the hard way. He worked at Walmart.
For years.
He worked at Walmart for like 10 years or something like that.
10 plus.
He worked at it was not a gaming store, but it was like you can go in there and buy games. You can go in there and buy
electronics area.
It was a toy warehouse is what he worked at before that. But listen, that's the thing. There's nothing wrong. We're getting sidetracked. There's nothing wrong with working from home or anything like that. But I think the technology has made people lazy, so they won't get up and go to work. Hell, I'm 40. I'm going to be 44 in like 6 months. I get up now. I get up at 4:30 o'clock at 4:35 o'clock in the morning, and I'm out the door. But then I don't go to bed till 1 o'clock in the morning. I only get 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep a day. And I got to be up again tomorrow on a Saturday. Now, how many youngins
have that worth that?
Not many. And and it's no fault to their own. And here's where I'm going to flip some scripts on people. I'm going to get people going, whoa, what the hell did he just say? I don't blame the younger generation.
They've seen how you guys went through.
Well, it's not even that. Every generation, every parent wanted their kids to have a better life. So they give them whatever they want to try to help them do that, if it's in their means. So when they're, this generation at 12 years old wanted a laptop or a tablet or a phone, guess what our generation did?
Worked their ass off.
We worked our ass off to give you that. And now, y'all feel entitled.
That everything's going to get handed to you.
Everything's going to get handed to you. So I blame my generation just as much as I blame your generation.
Agreed.
So that's what I got to say on that. Is there anything else you would ask me?
So you sort of touched on this with the lazy behavior.
Yeah.
Are social media sites changing other daily behaviors about everybody?
Well, I know for me, I have ADHD, and you do
Same
too.
do.
You do too.
Same
So I always have to be doing something, even at work. When I'm working, and I get my quota, I get my production numbers, but I cannot just stand there and wait for my machine. I have to have something open.
Gotcha.
I have to have an app open, be it Snapchat me, texting this person, or Facebook open, texting you.
Yeah.
I always, even though I'm at work, focused here, my mind still, exactly where I'm coming from.
Same thing.
Your mind still needs that little squirrel moment to go, okay, check, back to what you're doing. Squirrel moment, check, back to what you're doing. I personally, I think that's what changed in my life. Like when I was in high school, because I was so bored, I hated being in high school.
I did as well.
It wasn't because the teachers didn't know what they were talking about. It literally because I was bored. If I could have been able to do online schooling 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I would have probably, it would have been a totally different story. Now, granted, I wouldn't be the person I am today if I would have done that. But I feel that the technology has changed people the way they do everything. Everything. Hell, for example, you literally can go online to take your driver's test.
Yeah.
Where when I went, you actually had to walk your little ass in. Now, you do have to go in there, take the written
and the driving,
but you literally can get online, practice until your little heart's desire, and then go in and ace the test. They didn't have that. We had a fucking book. There was no computer system to take that test. We had to study our book. We had to take driver's ed, which I didn't. My dad threw me in a car.
I was going to say,
He
Grandpa just threw you in a car.
He threw me in a car and told me to just go. But I think social media has changed everything. And now, like, I'm not bashing. There are some things I will bash on, but I don't think we're going to touch on that in this episode. I do believe that everything in the world has been affected and or changed because of social media.
Alright.
In one way or another.
I can definitely agree with that.
So, I honestly, I think that there needs to be, this kind of a
tangent.
Yeah, there's an answer to the problem that I'm going to say.
Alright.
It's just taking time to do it. I believe that... I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, so I'm trying to pick my words and where I want to go with this very carefully. Social media, in just about all of them, do not follow their guidelines. There isn't one out there that does.
I can definitely agree with that.
Now, there is one in the process of being built.
That will follow
that
to
will
the
follow
the T.
We'll follow it to the T. They have admins and stuff. As you guys know, in our last podcast, it was a thank you.
Yes.
It was more of a thank you podcast than anything. The thing is when you finally come across somebody that is willing to put their foot down for other people,
it's a big thing.
It's a big thing. When you have a CEO, a guy who's walked through the mud, walked through the shit, and is willing to throw people on his shoulders and say, let's go, because they're tired of seeing the shit, then it's time that people start backing him. Now, I don't share as much of his... Okay, first of all, it's Phlokk.com, guys.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
We're talking about Phlokk.com. It's an app that's going to be coming out. I explained a lot of the perks and stuff in episode 6, our last podcast. But if you go over to phlokk.com, Phlokk.com,
there's a lot
of perks. And let me tell you, when you see a guy do that, it's a lot of the reason why I'm using my voice right now on this podcast. It says it right in the name. Mm-hmm. I got legal rights to use it because of a year long basically using it on TikTok. And if it wasn't for the CEO of Phlokk, I probably would not be doing this, because I used to be a very depressed person with very high anxiety, which should not go together.
It's not a good combination.
It's not a good combination. Okay? So, I kind of turn into a turtle and kind of just pull myself in, but then it feels like I'm laying on my back, on my shell. So now I get anxious.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it. And I used to go and help people with preaching of the Bible. Most of people don't know, I mean, but I was, Chappy is actually another word for chaplain.
Yes.
I was the chaplain of a motorcycle ministry up in Ohio.
I was also a part of it.
Yeah, Wesley was part of it as well. Chappy is actually just a different word for chaplain.
Nickname for chaplain.
Yeah, it's not really a nickname,
not really,
but you know what I'm saying. That's where Chappy comes from, and I literally, when we were out on the motorcycles or we were at gatherings and stuff, I was the guy.
Everybody called him it.
Like, everybody called me that, and then that turned into talking to people and reaching out. Well, at some point, I lost that ambition, and just seeing the spark in other people is kind of giving me the voice. I've always been the guy that helps people. I've always been the person that doesn't ask for anything in return. I am that person, and I have a voice, and I know how to use my words, and I know that if you're having a conversation, in order to have a good conversation, not only do you have to speak clearly, but you also have to shut up and listen.
Exactly.
Because there's an old saying that if you're talking, you're not listening.
Which I've had to learn growing up, because I always like to cut in when people are talking. I've done it with him speaking, and it's a very bad habit of mine, but I try.
Yeah, well, in like this situation, cutting in like on this, that's one thing. But my thing is this: if you can't sit and talk and listen, this is a 180 back to our communication we were talking about earlier. See how I brought that back? Bring that back. But so literally, if you don't know how to communicate, you're going to be lost in the world.
Because you won't be able to find a job. You won't be able, well, probably find a job, but you ain't going to be able to talk to people. You won't know how to speak with people in the workplace. You won't know how to talk to your boss. You won't be able to make good friends. You won't be able to do anything, really.
Yep. And that's the thing. I've been that type of person that has been able to know how to talk to people. And so now I'm using it, and I'm slowly hoping that it teaches you when to shut up and when to speak. That's why today's episode is happening. I had a few people ask who you were, and I went, you're right, he doesn't talk enough.
I don't. I really don't. For the most part, I'm listening. For the most part,
I taught him something. I taught him something.
For me, I'd rather listen to somebody talk and hear what they have to say before I even pipe up and say something for myself.
Right, I got you. Right, I like to analyze. I kind of do that. We're gonna wrap it up with a recap here.
And then I'm also gonna go along with the schedule stuff.
Yeah.
Also to bring that up.
If you want to go ahead and talk about the schedule, and then I will finish up with the giveaway stuff.
All right. So, as you guys know, we do these podcasts Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and normally lives on Saturday, which we will be doing our first live on Twitch tomorrow. We will be doing that. And every Thursday and Sunday, we put out YouTube videos of the stuff that has been said and the episodes of the week.
Right.
Our Monday and Wednesdays go out on Thursdays, and our Fridays, Saturdays go out on Sundays. Right. I just got our recent one up yesterday.
Yeah.
So go check that out. It's at Chappys Phlokking Podcast on YouTube. We also have a website. We have a link tree if you'd prefer to look at everything.
Yeah, the link tree has all. The link tree has all the places you can go listen, like Spotify, Spreaker, iHeart, all that. It has our gear. It has
the website. The Twitter, I think.
I think the Twitter's on there. I don't remember if the Twitter's on there. But going into the gear, that kind of leads me into what I wanted to say about the giveaway. If you guys go over to Chappy'sandJrsPodcast.com, all you got to do is register. We're giving away a handheld, a handled mug. There's 2 styles on there. You guys can pick whichever one you want. Here's how it's gonna go. Literally, you go in, you sign up,
and that's an entry.
That's it. That's all you got to do. No purchase required. If you'd like to get more entries, there's a couple ways to do that. If you refer a friend, they come over and sign up. There's again, you guys don't have to buy anything. Just sign up. When you send somebody over, here's a very key thing they have to do. When you go into the notes or the comments of the sign-up, where you put in your password or all that stuff, where you sign up, make sure they put your name in the comment section so we can give it to you. If they don't do that,
you don't get that.
You don't get it, and there's no arguments about it. There is no arguments about it. If they don't put it there, it don't count. Okay? The other way to get entries, if you go over to our gear, the links are in all of our bios.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to our gear and you purchase something, every $5 will get you 5 entries. So if you only go over there and you only spend $5, you're getting 5 entries. If you go over there and spend $30, there's 30 entries. It's for every $5, we're giving you 5 entries. And the reason we're doing it that way, if you go over there and you spend $32 on something, we're not giving you 32 entries. We're giving you 30. So you're going to be at those 2. Just so you guys know. It's for every $5. Okay? Now this is going to run from... It started on the 20th, July 20th. We're running it to August 19th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anybody signing up after that...
will not be counted towards it.
Will not be counted, and everything is timestamped when you guys sign up.
Yep.
It is timestamped to us, so we can prove it. The emails and everything are timestamped when you guys sign up, so we'll know. Now on the Saturday following the 19th, that's following Saturday.
We'll be doing
We're gonna be doing the drawing, and we're gonna be doing it live on the podcast and on Twitch. So you guys are going to want to tune in. As soon as we figure out the winner, we're going to send an email out to whoever it is, and bada boom, bada bing, we'll get it sent out to you. Easy peasy. There is no rules outside of that. Literally, very simple. It's a thank you from us to you because you guys are awesome.
We're just trying to give back to the community.
Yeah. So we're gonna get out of here. We actually have had a really great time. Good talking. I'm glad I had this special call-in guest today. So we're gonna let you guys get out of here. You've spent enough time with us today. I'm your host, Chappy.
And this is your co-host, Junior.
We're out of here. Love you guys.
Take it easy.
Peace.